Imagine this, a world without eggs, without milk, without bacon. The meat section in the store vanished. The dairy aisle non-existent. Welcome to a world where everyone is vegan. Today, we're exploring a thought experiment. What if everyone on Earth became vegan? We'll delve into the implications on health, environment, economy, and society. First, let's define vegan. Veganism is a lifestyle that excludes all forms of animal exploitation and cruelty. This means no meat, no dairy, no eggs, no honey, and even no leather or wool. It's not just about diet, but also about the products you use and the clothes you wear. You might ask, isn't that just like being vegetarian? Well, not quite. While vegetarians don't consume meat, they may still consume dairy and eggs. Vegans, however, exclude all animal products from their lives. So now that we've defined veganism, let's delve into this parallel universe where everyone has adopted this lifestyle. We'll start with how this global shift might affect our health. Things are about to get really interesting. Health implications. A shift to a vegan world could fundamentally alter our collective health, potentially in ways that are largely beneficial. A wide body of scientific research suggests that a well-planned vegan diet can be incredibly healthy. Such a diet is naturally rich in nutrient-dense fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, and legumes, all of which carry their own respective health advantages. For instance, a vegan diet could significantly reduce the risk of heart disease. This is largely due to the lower intake of saturated fats from animal products and an increased intake of heart-healthy fibers and plant sterols. Additionally, the abundance of antioxidants in a plant-based diet can reduce inflammation in the body, a known precursor to heart disease. The benefits aren't limited to heart health. There's also evidence to suggest that a vegan diet could lower the risk of type 2 diabetes. Plant-based diets are typically lower in calories and higher in fiber, which can assist in maintaining a healthy body weight and stabilize blood sugar levels. When it comes to cancer, the World Health Organization classifies processed meats as a Group 1 carcinogen, meaning they can cause cancer in humans. By eliminating these foods, vegans may reduce their risk of developing certain types of cancer, such as colorectal cancer. However, it's important to note that a vegan diet is not automatically a healthy one. Vegans can still eat processed foods and sweets, and a poorly planned vegan diet can lead to deficiencies in several key nutrients. Vitamin B12, for instance, is a nutrient that's essential for nerve function and the production of red blood cells. It's naturally found almost exclusively in animal-derived foods, so vegans must obtain it through fortified foods or supplements. Iron, calcium, iodine, and omega-3 fatty acids are other nutrients that vegans may need to pay special attention to. While it's possible to obtain these nutrients from plant foods, the forms found in plants may not be as easily absorbed by the body as those from animal products. In our vegan world, education about nutrition might become even more vital. We'd need to ensure that everyone understood how to follow a balanced vegan diet that provided all the necessary nutrients. With the right planning and knowledge, a vegan diet could not only meet nutritional needs, but also possibly lead to better public health. Environmental impact. The environmental implications of a worldwide shift to veganism could be staggering. Our current food system, particularly the production of animal-based foods, has a substantial environmental footprint. By eliminating animal agriculture, we might see significant changes in several key areas. First, let's talk about greenhouse gas emissions. Animal agriculture is a major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, accounting for about 14.5% of all human-induced emissions, according to the UN Food and Agriculture Organization. This includes methane, produced by ruminant animals like cows, and which is 28 times more potent at trapping heat in the atmosphere than carbon dioxide. By shifting to a vegan world, we could significantly reduce these emissions, possibly slowing the pace of climate change. Next, consider water usage. It takes a considerable amount of water to produce animal-based foods. For instance, producing a single pound of beef requires an estimated 1,800 gallons of water when you consider the water needed for drinking, cleaning, and growing food crops. By contrast, most plant-based foods require significantly less water. A global shift to veganism could dramatically reduce our water footprint, contributing to water conservation efforts. Deforestation is another major concern. Much of the world's deforestation, especially in the Amazon rainforest, is driven by the demand for land to raise livestock and grow animal feed. Without the need for animal agriculture, we could potentially halt this trend and preserve our remaining forests, protecting biodiversity and helping mitigate climate change. Animal agriculture also contributes to other environmental issues, such as soil erosion, water pollution from animal waste, and overfishing, which leads to the destruction of marine ecosystems. A shift to a vegan world could alleviate these issues, leading to healthier soils, cleaner water, and more sustainable use of ocean resources. However, it's important to note that a vegan world wouldn't be without its own environmental challenges. For example, increased demand for certain plant-based foods could potentially lead to monoculture farming, which can deplete soil nutrients and contributes to pest outbreaks. Moreover, a shift to veganism would also require a shift in our farming practices, infrastructure, and supply chains. This wouldn't be an easy or quick process, and it could come with its own environmental costs. In summary, while a vegan world could potentially offer significant environmental benefits, it's not a silver bullet for all our environmental issues. It would require careful planning and sustainable practices to ensure that the benefits were maximised and new environmental problems weren't created. Economic impact. A shift to a vegan world would inevitably have far-reaching economic implications. It would disrupt numerous industries, potentially causing a seismic shift in job markets and consumer behaviour, while also fostering the rise of new industries. Starting with the most directly affected, the farming industry, particularly livestock farming, would undergo a complete transformation. The elimination of animal agriculture would mean that those currently employed in this sector, from farmers to butchers, would need to find new avenues of work. This could lead to short-term economic hardship and necessitate significant support for retraining and transition to new jobs. The impact would not stop at farming. The fast food industry, for example, which relies heavily on animal products, would need to completely overhaul its menu offerings. This could initially be costly and logistically challenging, but it could also open up opportunities for innovation and differentiation. Similarly, supermarkets would need to rethink their product range, focusing on plant-based foods and vegan-friendly products. This shift could stimulate a boom in the production of such goods, providing economic opportunities for producers and distributors of vegan products. In fact, the rise of new industries catering to the vegan lifestyle could be one of the most significant economic implications of this shift. From plant-based food production and vegan fashion to vegan cosmetics and restaurants, there could be countless opportunities for entrepreneurs and businesses willing to cater to this new market. Moreover, as more resources are channeled into the production of plant-based foods, we could see advancements in food technology. We might witness a surge in the development of plant-based meat substitutes, dairy-free milk alternatives, and other innovative products that mimic the taste and texture of animal-based foods. At the same time, a global shift in job markets would be almost certain. While some jobs would become obsolete, others would be created. Farmers might transition into growing crops for human consumption or rewilding farmland. Workers in animal food production could transfer their skills to plant-based food production. However, this transition would not be easy or instant. There would need to be comprehensive support systems to retrain affected workers and help them find new employment. Governments and organisations might need to invest heavily in education and training programs to ensure a smooth transition. The economic implications of a shift to a vegan world are profound and multifaceted. While there would undoubtedly be challenges and disruptions, this new world could also bring about innovative industries, job opportunities, and a potentially more sustainable economy. Social and cultural shifts. The ripple effects of a global shift to veganism would extend beyond health, environment, and economy. They would touch the very core of our social fabric and cultural traditions, many of which are heavily intertwined with the consumption of animal products. Culturally, food plays a central role in how we celebrate, mourn, socialize, and express our identity. Think of the sizzling steaks in an Australian barbecue, the ubiquitous cheese in an Italian pizza, the rich ghee-laden sweets at an Indian festival, or the cultural significance of sushi in Japan. In a vegan world, these traditions would have to be reimagined. This could be a source of cultural tension, as many people hold these traditions dear and may find it hard to let go or adapt. Dining out could also change dramatically. Vegan options at restaurants would no longer be the exception, but the norm. While this might sound exciting for current vegans, who often struggle with limited choices, it could be a significant adjustment for others. The entire culinary industry, from fast food chains to fine dining establishments, would have to reinvent their menus, which could initially lead to a period of experimentation and innovation, but also potential confusion for consumers. Holidays and celebrations might look different too. Instead of the traditional meat-centric feast, we might see a surge in creativity as families experiment with plant-based alternatives. This could open up a whole new world of culinary traditions, but it could also lead to a sense of loss for those who strongly associate certain foods with their celebrations. Resistance to such a dramatic change is to be expected. Food is deeply personal and tied to our sense of self, our culture, and our memories. The thought of giving up certain foods can evoke strong emotions and resistance. It's therefore crucial to acknowledge that the transition to a vegan world would not be without its struggles and conflicts. In addition, there could be social implications in terms of equality and access. While a plant-based diet can be cheaper in some parts of the world, in others, especially where fresh produce is hard to come by, it might be more expensive. Ensuring that a vegan world is a fair one, where everyone has access to nutritious plant-based food, would be a significant challenge to address. In a nutshell, the social and cultural implications of a global shift to veganism would be profound and complex. They would require a re-evaluation of deeply ingrained habits and traditions, a willingness to adapt, and comprehensive measures to ensure that the transition was fair and inclusive. Conclusion. As we've journeyed through this thought experiment of a global shift to veganism, we've explored its potential impacts on various aspects of our lives. From the potential health benefits and challenges to the remarkable environmental implications, we've seen how such a shift could change our world. Economically, we've discussed the disruption and transformation of industries, the rise of new ones, and the shifts in job markets. And on a cultural and social level, we've pondered the profound changes to our traditions, celebrations, and everyday social interactions. But let's take a step back and remember that this is just that, a thought experiment. It's not a prediction of the future, nor a prescription for what we should all do right now. It's a tool for stimulating discussion and expanding our perspectives. It's an invitation to consider alternative ways of living and how they might shape our world. Such a massive global shift to veganism would not be easy or straightforward. It would require considerable planning, adaptation, and support systems. It would require a rethinking of deeply ingrained habits, traditions, and industries. But contemplating such a change can open our minds to new possibilities and challenges, and perhaps inspire us to consider how our individual choices affect the world we live in. Whether a vegan world is something we should strive for or not, is a decision that each of us has to make for ourselves, informed by our values, beliefs, and the available evidence. However, one thing is clear, our dietary choices have far-reaching impacts, and it's worth taking the time to understand them better. So, what do you think a vegan world would look like? How would it affect you personally? How would it change your daily life, your traditions, or your job? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you found this thought experiment interesting and thought-provoking, please be sure to give this video a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully see you in the next one.